When I was 16, I thought it would be the coolest thing ever to have an octopus for a best friend. One that would sit on a skateboard so I could take it for walks and meet nerdy science girls. I have a theory that cephalopods are the ultimate wingman. My mom told me that when I was a baby, a woman holding a baby girl asked her how much I weighed. My mom said she wasn't sure but replied no matter how big I was all beautiful. To which the other woman remarked, well, no one ever thinks that their baby is the ugly baby. My mission is to find this woman and start dating her daughter. Grody. Grody is a word that I would like to see make a comeback in popular slang. Real life example. The soup tastes like Play-Doh. It's grody. I'd like to learn magic. I think if I combined spoken word and magic, I'd be more popular. Because if I did a poem about doves and then doves flew out of my arms, people would lose their shit. One time, on a flight, I heard a big Texan call one of the flight attendants a sky waitress. I laughed so long that when we landed, I was taken to security and given a drug test. When they asked what was so funny, I told them about sky waitress. I was then given a second drug test just to make sure. Sky waitress is sadly no longer funny to me. I used to fantasize about being the last man on Earth. Until one day I realized being the last man on Earth does not ensure anyone will make out with me. I then began to fantasize about being the last man in the universe. Everything is always fucked up. It's never fucked down. I think the problem with violence is that it escalates, and when that happens, people say things like, I'm gonna fuck you up. But maybe the world would be a better place if when people got into fights, they said things like, I'm gonna fuck you down. Here's a buttered scone and some tea. I also have this hug for you. I met a man who once asked me, do you think bald people can get hairline fractures? I told him it was a stupid question, but secretly, I wish I'd thought of it. I know a guy who wants to make a video game called Neville Quest. It would involve a Neville brother being kidnapped by the Jackson 5, and Aaron Neville would be on a quest to find him. He would of course have powers, like singing ultra-high notes that would make his enemies' heads explode, and a special move where his mole would open up like a black hole and suck people inside of it. I told him it was a stupid idea, but secretly, I think it's the best thing I've ever heard. My friend wants to name his child Justice. I told him, that's a stupid name, but secretly, I think it's a really stupid name. What if the kid goes blind? Blind Justice? That's like naming a kid Intelligence and sending him to military school. It's dumb. Snog. I was drinking with a girl in London once, and she asked me if I wanted a snog, to which I replied, no thank you, I'll stick with beer. A friend later defined the word, telling me that in the UK the word snog means to kiss or make out. I then asked, just in case, what's the UK word for dry hump? He asked why, and I said, someone had just offered me a spot of gack, to which he replied, gack means cocaine. But if you want to get off at Edge Hill, I know a gimmer who might be willing to give it some rice. At that point, I realized slang makes me feel stupid.